Okay, power's out.
Yeah.
Power's out. So I'm gonna pass the time a little bit while I wait to get back to work. Um, I didn't come up with this kind of exercise. Lots of people have some version of this, but I've always called it anything you can do, I can do. And the way this goes, as you might guess, is that you're going to take your four limbs and you're going to take a pattern with your best limb, your most dominant. So for me, my right hand. Take a pattern and try to replicate it, try to copycat it with my other three limbs. And if you're doing this right, you should be operating in a place where you're a little uncomfortable with the non-dominant limbs, that you found an area where it's at or just past your limit. Because once you find that place, it's not so much about the patterns or memorizing, getting specific patterns under your belt, but it's more about like developing the confidence and developing the musculature and developing kind of the smoothness and the accuracy and the sort of finer nuances among your limbs, so that when you're in a gigging situation or a playing situation, you have the confidence to know, hey, I can do a string of 16th notes with my left hand without needing to move my right hand over and devise a solution. At this tempo, any one of my limbs could speak a little idea that I've got in mind, and that's very liberating, and it's very helpful in, say, like kind of conversational funk beats where you're trying to keep the groove going, but let the groove also provide commentary and accentuation as you hear it, without having to turn to fills as your mode of conversation. So here we go. Let's just do something simple and kind of find where that limit is. So I'll just take some kind of medium tempo to kind of warm up. Okay, so I'll talk about kind of my thought process. So there's just, like I said, looking for just that little moment where it's uncomfortable. And you may or may not have heard it, but there was some unevenness with my feet, especially with the hi-hat. And so I kind of focused on that for a minute and kind of felt it and paid attention to it and analyzed, like, what is happening with my feet? Do I want to modify position? Do I need to move my weight around a little bit? Am I out of physical balance? So that's the kind of thinking that you're going to do. It's not about like coming up necessarily with a really interesting pattern, but you can. So let's say I wanted to go, Okay, so that felt pretty comfortable. I'm going to probably resume doing, let's say, a string of triplets. Okay, so hopefully you kind of get the idea. None of that was perfect. And ideally what I would do next, and what I'll do when I shut the camera off, and you don't necessarily need to watch me do it, is I would take 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes and just start cycling it until I kind of found some kind of adjustment that felt good to me and made me feel like I was solving that problem. And if I couldn't solve that problem, what I do is stop, maybe slow it down, like move it a little closer. I might say, well, am I actually a little too far past my limit? Do I need to bring it back? Like if I'd done this very quickly, if I'd gone. Okay, so I could kind of, my left hand was nearly with it, probably good enough if I'd been in a gig. My right foot kind of dropped one. My left foot was nowhere near. That's too far beyond my limit for this exercise right now. What I want to do is back that off a little and work up to it. Anyway, that's anything you can do, I can do. Hopefully that's helpful, and good practicing.